Buffalo Bill Jr. Buffalo Bill Jr.
Buffalo Bill Jr. with his little sister, Calamity. Buffalo Bill Jr. brings you exciting action, thrills, and fun with Judge Ben Fair and Square, Wiley.
Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill Jr.
Growing up sometimes can be a mighty distressing and painful business. Not just for young folks, but for a country, too, I reckon. Take our neck of the woods now. Silver and copper mining, soldiers and Indians fighting one another. Cattle drives, boom towns, a city like Tombstone growing up overnight, growing too fast for its own good, growing up sick inside. Getting to be a sort of a first-class breeding ground for rustlers and outlaws, like old man Clanton and his sons, Indian Charlie, John Ringo, the McLaury brothers, and Frank Stillwell. And when a body's sick, it needs medicine. Medicine for Tombstone was the law. Men whose names have become legends of the West. United States Marshal Wyatt Earp, his brothers and chief deputies, Virgil and Morgan Earp, and the dentist who didn't know how to die, Wyatt Earp's friend, Doc Holliday. Yeah, them growing up pains in Tombstone was felt for some distance, even as far away as Wileyville.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15.
You better order 2 cases. Count the peas on the second shelf.
Yes, sir.
You finished checking that gingham yet, Calamity? Calamity!
Here I am, Judge. I was just... Ow! Why don't you look where you put your big feet?
You look where you're...
Clumsy!
Why, you...
Bill.
Oh, Judge, every time I turn around or make a step, she's always getting in the way. More trouble than hell.
Now you listen to me, Buffalo Bill Jr.
Calamity. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm going to do with the 2 of you. Now, inventory's no picnic, but it's got to be done. So now let's cut out all this bickering and get on with it. Bill, are you all right? Well, now, wait. Fun is fun, but we're sure not getting this inventory done. Appears to me and the court, like in the case of the gingham versus the beans, Miss Calamity is guilty of being an accessory before, after, and underneath the fact. I hereby sentence you to get down and pick up every last one of those cans.
Oh.
Now, get, young lady, down on your knees. Come on, let's get these shelves back up. Let's check that order again, Bill. Howdy.
You're on this place?
That's right.
Sign outside says you're a doc. My friend's hurt and needs fixing.
Get my kit, Bill. Sit in this chair here and we'll take a look at that arm. That's a bullet wound, rifle.
What about it?
Well, I'm the doctor here, all right, but I'm also the town constable. I'll have to know how this man was wounded.
Start fixing, Doc, fast. We got company on the trail behind us and no time for questions. You, kid, over to the door. Lock it. Move. Both of you. What did you stop for?
Now, Calamity!
Hold it, Stillwell.
That ought to hold them for now. You figuring on taking them back today, Marshal?
As soon as we get something to eat, Judge. Been trailing these men for days, catching food on the run.
Well, Calamity's fixing to bite for you now.
Good. I'm hungry. Putting Stillwell behind bars calls for some kind of a celebration, even if it's just a meal.
I wouldn't send out any invitations to the party, Doc. This ain't Tombstone.
There were witnesses on the Bisbee stage when you killed the driver. They'll identify you.
Maybe, and maybe not. I've got friends in Tombstone, so don't hold your breath, or...
You better worry about holding your breath, Mr. Stillwell. They tell me that hangman's noose fits pretty snug.
How about that food, Judge?
Oh, sure thing.
Then the posse fanned out, and we had the outlaw trapped in the canyon. Only one way in and one way out. That was it.
Wow. Boy, that must have been exciting. Say, Marshal, tell me about that posse you hit up in the Black Hills. The one the judge was in.
Oh, that's enough now, Bill. Marshal Earp and Doc Holliday have to get their prisoners back to Tombstone.
Now, that's all right, Ben. I don't mind. After all, if it hadn't been for Bill here and his sister, we mightn't have caught up with Stillwell and his sidekick. Doc and I are mighty beholden to both of you.
You seem pretty interested in posses, Bill. Like to ride with one someday.
You bet. Gee, my first posse. Do you really think I could, Marshal?
Well, that might not be a bad... Well, you're kind of young, Bill, to be manhunting in a posse.
Oh, it's more fun chasing and shooting jackrabbits. Besides, you sleep better nights.
I think we better get started.
Stillwell seems to be one of the leaders of the outlaw element in Tombstone. What's going to happen when you put him in jail?
Trouble, Ben. Plenty of trouble.
Stillwell could be the fuse to explode the biggest keg of powder in the West.
War, Judge. Between us and the outlaws banded together. All-out war. Someday, son, there'll be that first posse. Oh, we better be making tracks.
Oh, come on, Bill. Cheer up.
There ain't a jail strong enough to hold me. I'll be back. And when I do, it'll be a different story.
All right, move on, Stillwell.
I don't get it. It's been a week since Marshall and Holliday left, and not a word. Today, we get a message that Holliday's on that Tombstone local. And to pick him up and get all the men in town together for a meeting.
You think there'll be trouble?
Well, it ain't going to be no Sunday social meeting, that's for sure. You better get on your way.
You bet. Say, by the way, where's Calamity?
Oh, she said something about visiting one of her friends.
Good. Well, it seems like she's always tagging along. The only time I can be alone is when I'm sleeping.
Well, she is your sister, Bill.
Yes, sir, but she acts just like a kid. Well, I'll be getting over to the junction. Get up there. Get up. Get up.
There she is, right on time.
Well,
Well, I just wanted to come along and my dress got caught.
calamity isn't enough. The judge should have named you Catastrophe. Now we gotta go pick up Doc Holliday and get him back to town. But first, we gotta go catch the horse I borrowed to chase you.
I'll get him.
Oh, no. Do you think you could make a special effort and just sit still without starting a war or something?
I think so.
Good.
We've asked all you men here because we need your help. A week ago, Frank Stillwell was put in the Tombstone jail for killing the Bisbee stage driver. That really started the pot to boiling. 2 of the witnesses to that holdup were killed, and a third disappeared. Federal judge had no choice. He had to let Stillwell out on bail. And 2 days ago, the pot boiled over. Stillwell and 5 other outlaws barricaded themselves at the end of the alley. They sent a message to Marshal Earp, daring the law to come and get them. There was only one thing to do. It was a death trap, but we had to go in after them. When the shooting was over, Morgan had been wounded in the shoulder, Virgil in the leg. The marshal and I weren't touched. Of the outlaws, Frank McLaury, Tom McLaury, and Billy Clanton were dead. Ike Clanton and Billy Claiborne had thrown down their guns and surrendered. Frank Stillwell, the man who had started it all, managed to escape. John Ringo, Indian Charlie, and the rest of the outlaws in town hit their saddles and ran for cover. And we think they're headed this way. There's a posse out from Tombstone trailing them. Wyatt Earp's gone after Stillwell. Now, I want to organize a posse here and head back for Tombstone. With a little luck, I think we can pin down the outlaws between the 2 posses. Now, the judge here is ready to swear in anyone who wants to come along. Bill, like the marshal said, not this time.
Oh, but...
Sorry.
Raise your right hands. Now, all you men understand what this means.
It might be dangerous. You'll get in trouble if you go along.
I've just gotta go along. This will be my first posse, and if I miss it, I might not get another chance.
You're always yelling at me about tagging along, and now you're doing the same thing.
This isn't the same thing. This is different.
This is different, huh?
Bill? Calamity? Bill? Bill? Calamity? Stillwell.
Get your posse?
Yeah?
Any sign of Stillwell?
Well, I got my men fanned out within gunshot sound of each other. If anybody'd started Stillwell or anybody else, they'd have fired.
Figure he's heading for Wileyville. There's an express going through the junction this afternoon. Got a hunch he might try to get on it.
Want me to go with you?
Keep on with the posse.
Well, it's getting late. You better start riding if you're going to meet that train.
Good luck.
You too.
There's an express train coming through Wileyville in a couple of hours. I'll just stick around here till it's time to meet it. Then I'll leave. After I settle some unfinished business.
Someday you'll learn. If I'd have been an outlaw on the run for his life, you'd be dead by now. Now get on your pony. I'm taking you home.
But what about the posse?
No, it's getting too late, and the judge will be worried about you.
But this is your first posse, and you might not get another chance.
Yeah, well, you should have thought about that before you started following me. Fellas are gonna get a big laugh out of this. Me playing wet nurse to my kid sister while they hunt outlaws.
But Bill,
Oh, Calamity. It's all right. Honest, I don't mind.
If you get me back and sneak me in without the judge seeing me, maybe you can still catch up with the posse. And I promise, Bill, I won't follow you.
Say, you got an idea. Let's hurry.
Thanks for the hat and coat. It'll help me look like one of the regular passengers on the train. Well, Judge, this is it.
Freeze! Don't turn around. Pitch your gun out the window. Move. Now untie the judge. Judge Calamity and stay with him.
No passengers on the express to Wiley Junction and no mail.
The train won't stop here?
Not unless I put out a signal for it to stop.
And you'd better put out that signal. Take it easy, Marshal. Get busy with that signal. I said get busy with that signal.
Marshal. Now stay put, darn it.
Good work, Bill.
Court is now in session. Calamity, I'll deal with you first. Considering that indirectly your actions saved my life, the court's inclined to be lenient. I find you guilty and sentence you to 10 days in jail. But considering your tender years, sentence is suspended. Defendant is dismissed. As for you, young Buffalo Bill, Jr., you were warned that you could not be a part of a manhunting posse. That should have been the end of it. I find you guilty. And your years are not so tender. Have you anything to say before I sentence you?
Your Honor, I'd like to petition the court for the right to speak in behalf of the defense.
Petition granted.
Now, the Ringo Kid and Indian Charlie are still on the run. Now, catch them will take a posse of good men. If Your Honor will suspend sentence and remand the defendant to my custody, I'd be most grateful because I'd like to take this opportunity to extend to Bill here an invitation to become a member of that posse and ride with me as one of my deputies.
10 days. Sentence suspended. And the defendant is remanded to the custody of the United States Marshal Wyatt Earp. Court adjourned.
Better get your horse, son. Time to be riding.
Oh, boy, my first posse.
Buffalo Bill Jr. Now with his horse and with his gun, he's not afraid of anyone, 'cause no one's quicker on the draw or quicker to defend the law. Buffalo Bill Jr., Buffalo Bill Jr. He's the son of a gun. Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill